am healthy in all my ways, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. I am a man of confidence. I am confident in my ability to succeed.
Take the next right onto Schoolcraft Road. Continue on Schoolcraft Road for 1 mile.
Good morning. On my way to Kalamazoo for the Michigan Afterschool Conference, Michigan Afterschool Collaboration Leadership Conference. I think that's what it is. But the MAC conference, and I'm the morning keynote speaker. Yay for that. And so my mom, people sent me a text, letting me know, good luck and all that good stuff. And my mom sent me a text, telling me to be safe on the road. And she includes a video. And when I open up the video, it's none other than KRS-One. KRS-One talking about knock him out. It was a knock him out. My mama telling me to knock him out. And by KRS-One.
And it still feels like I'm writing on paper.
It's hilarious, really, when I think about it.
Are you here for Tracy?
Only because I know what she was attempting to send me. It's probably Mama said knock you out by LL Cool J, but she sent me knock him out by KRS-One. So, which I think they had beef at one point, but neither here nor there. It's the sentiment that counts. So I'm about to download that on my Spotify. I'm about to bump that, and I'm about to bump Mama said knock you out. Or she might have been intentionally sending me KRS-One. She's a KRS-One fan that I didn't undercover KRS-One fan. So, but we moving. Traffic is going. They say estimated time 9:17. We're going to pray that we can knock off a couple minutes and not have to rush into the building because I go on at 10 o'clock. So we'll be good. All will be well. Heading to Kalamazoo, the scene of many, many crimes. All right. Yep.
Knock him out the boss, Chris.
Like, hey, finger on the trigger, like, hey.
What are you doing this morning? Okay. And I'm seeing some people that are much louder than that themselves, than the collective. And so what I am aiming for is something that could wake up those late checkout people, that they will be mad because of what's about to happen in the next 2 seconds. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So it's an honor to be here with you today. Leaders, builders, dreamers, and doers. Our purpose today is simple, to cultivate ourselves for this moment that we find ourselves in. I mean, the goal is after school for everybody, right, Aaron? Where are you? It's for everybody. And so that's the goal. And this morning's message that we received lets us know that while we are closer to that end, we still have so much more to go. So today we'll explore outcomes that matter, sharpening your view of leadership, connecting with each other, and stretching our vision for the future. And we'll do it in this session through 3 processes: individual reflection, pair and share, and yes, is it gonna go? Oh, don't do it. Oh, click down. Thank you. The hand. So I have to say this. So one, before I get into this, I'm proud Western Michigan graduate, played on the football team, was blessed to be able to be in this space. And so it is very much surreal to now be in this room as a fully grown professional in the space where I was able to be safe, be around supportive peers and adults that enabled me to, be where I'm at today. So go Broncos for that. So the hand. So what does the hand mean? The hand is a signal for attention, okay? Call to attention back up front. We can be comfortable yelling, hey, or even comfortable doing that. If you hear my voice once, clap once. If you hear my voice, clap twice to hear my voice. So this is another technique that was handed down to me by the little woman that lives in my head. I call her that because she is very little and my head is big. Her name's Elena Lazo. She's a professional developer, educator in Detroit Public Schools for 30 plus years. And so I was blessed to work under her tutelage, and she gave me a lot of tricks of the trade. So this is one of them. So when you see the hand, what does it mean? It's call to attention. So if you see the hand, raise your hand. If you are talking and you see the hand, all that means is finish your statement. And once you finish your statement, put your hand up. I've seen it work with small groups of middle schoolers, larger groups of high schoolers, and we're going to see it work today with 300 awesome out of school time leaders. And so as long as we can agree that this is our call to attention, now here's a little thing too. It's right here for a reason. Up here is yelling, down here is quiet and nobody sees it. So like right here is like the perfect height. So again, tools that you can take back. The hand is something that I've seen to be helpful, as long as you can get everybody's agreement that that's the tool that we're going to use. So can we agree that if you see the hand, raise a hand? If you're not talking, great. If you are talking, finish your statement and then bring your attention back up front. Make sense? Do we agree? Awesome. Appreciate it. All right. Now, before we roll, I got 3 asks for you. And think of them as lenses. I've been wearing these lenses since I was in 3rd grade. They shape how I see the world. Without them, I see nothing. With them, it changes how I engage with everybody in front of me. And so these asks are going to help shape how you approach today, not just this session, but today in general. So 1, I need you to be curious. Better outcomes come from asking questions, and a lot of them. So please ask them, what would it take? How does this apply to my situation? What shift could I make in the next 30 days? Lean into the possibilities of the moment, and please lean away from the hopeless whisper saying nothing's going to change, okay? Number 2, asking you to be open. Be open to the possibilities that can come about by us just being in the same space today. Change is hard. Even the thought of change makes our brains like dig in and say, no, this is not normal. We just have to stay with the things that we are familiar with. Like those old notions of leadership, what a leader does, how a leader looks, how a leader leads. Today, I'm asking you to stay open to the power of continuous improvement. As professionals, it's not just about programmatic continuous improvement. It's about how we as individuals are continuously improving every day in every way. Open to collaboration. I don't know about you, but I would much rather have this group of people helping me chop down a tree than just myself. So how are we all working together towards our common vision and the goals that we have for ourselves and for the work and for the field? And then open to the energy that comes when your vision is clear. It is amazing. So this morning when I was driving in, it was very foggy. The roads were fine, but I could tell off into the pastures. It was just it was a foggy morning. I could only imagine if that fog had rolled in over the street, how much more difficult it would have been driving here from Detroit down 94. But with the roads clear, I could open up, I could hit 90 and be okay. So open yourself to the energy that will come as your vision gets clearer and clearer as we go through today, for you and for the people that you lead. And then open yourself to the truth that you are not alone. I'm going to sit with that for a second. I've been blessed in all phases of my career to work with fantastic leaders. And in those spaces where you are filling out grant reports or preparing for a difficult conversation or just wondering how the hell did I end up in this situation, it can feel lonely. What I want you to do is to look around and see this packed room, which is awesome. This is just a snapshot of how connected we are, more than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. So just know that in this space, you have 300 friends, colleagues, teammates that are ready to be there for you if you need us, okay? Again, you are not alone. And then lastly, the third ask is to be present. We've all walked in here with a backpack. Me, literally, my backpack's right there. But not all of us. But I'm not talking about a literal backpack. I'm talking about like a figurative backpack, a proverbial backpack. That backpack is filled with past experiences of not so good summits or conferences, those emails that are piling up as you are here, those hard conversations that are waiting for you either at the office or at home. the to-dos you could be doing right now if you weren't here right now. All those things are in your backpack. My ask of you is to set that bag down and actually do you one better. Mentally take that bag and put it in your vehicle or however you got here and leave it there. The important thing to remember is that because you carry it in here, it'll weigh you down and you won't be able to stay present. You won't be able to fully engage. And the crazy thing is you'll be amazed at the awesome stuff you'll have to add to your bag when you get back to your bag when it's time to go home. So my ask of you is be open, be present, and be curious. Because when it's all said and done, those are the things that will help to expand the opportunities that'll be in front of you today. And then lastly, execution is worship. I won't claim that as mine, that is Eric Thomas, but execution is worship. Execution is what turns vision into reality. I invite you to follow the advice of our dear Jedi Master, Master Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. Now, I've got a lot of friends in here, and most of you already know where I'm going with this because you've heard me talk about this for the past 20 years, about the horrible word that is try. I've been on this crusade for much of my professional career, nearly 20 years of spreading the gospel about the ill effects of the word, how it is worse than some four-letter words that we use because its impact on you and the others around you. You shoot yourself in the foot every time you tell someone that you're going to try to get something done. Our kids have been told every day in every way from people in their lives that they're going to try to do something for them. And what happens? Nothing. So why do we continue to use it? Because it's a synonym for effort. But instead of taking the next 55 seconds to talk about this, I'm going to lean on my friend Myron Golden and have him talk it out. So there's another voice adding to this. Wait a minute.
Creators, take these 3 apps I built for business made.
I hate commercials.
They're ready for you as.
All right, give me a second. No thanks. And then 406. Bam.
If anybody who uses profanity thought about the negative effects of profanity, they wouldn't use it. In fact, anybody who uses negative words on rinse and repeat of any kind, not just profanity, if they understood the negative impact on their life, they wouldn't use it. Like even words like try and maybe. And I know people think, well, try is not that bad. Really? When, like every time somebody says, well, this is what I'm trying to do, I have like this visceral physical reaction, and I do everything inside of myself to resist showing it on the outside. I pull up all of my internal resources to not have a reaction to the word try. Because there's no such thing what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm doing it, or I'm not doing it. Now when I do it, it might do what I expected it to do. And it might not do what I expected it to do, but I didn't try to do it, I did it. It just didn't do what I thought it would do when I decided I was going to do it. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I like to think of try as a soft no. You don't want to tell somebody, no, you don't want to do it, so you say, I'm going to try to do it. When in your heart, you know, it ain't going to happen. So let's take that out, okay? Because our young people deserve more, our communities deserve more than a try. And as leaders in 2025, the circumstances of today demand daily execution. I'll repeat that, demand daily execution. So today, be curious, be open, be present. That's your compass for today. Now that we set our compass, let me share 3 truths. And you can consider, they're not like legit theories, but it's like hypotheses. But as I go through it, I believe that you'll be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So 1, oh, wrong way. Bam. We are all under construction. John Girardeau had a quote. Only the mediocre die always at their best. Real leaders are always improving and raising their bar on how superbly they can perform and how quickly they can move. All right, like Michigan roads in the summertime, we're all under construction. And while that summer construction is an irritant, it's like, yeah, it's very irritating. It's not a weakness. It's greatness in action. The most awe-inspiring cathedrals in the world weren't built in a year, like duh, or even in a lifetime. Some took centuries. Like the Sagrada Familia, that's kind of the background for the whole conversation today. The Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Construction began in 1882. It will be completed next year. 144 years. I'll get into it because I'm getting excited, but like the plans burned before the first part of it was even done. And yet, 144 years later, it will be completed. Generations of people working on something they knew they might not never see completed. That makes no sense. Working on something they knew they never might see completed because the vision was bigger than themselves. They continued forward. That's leadership. That's us. Always building, always becoming. Choose number 2. Time is of the essence. These are some numbers, because I'm all about like time and how we're maximizing it. So did you know there's 86,400 seconds in a day? That on average, we have 940 months in a lifetime, on average. That on average, there's 3,707 Saturdays or 80 summers on average. The last two make no, I meant to take those out because it really makes no sense. But the numbers, what the numbers are attempting to say is us being here today, those are larger odds than the odds of us winning the lottery. There's a very thin thread that have brought us all here together. And that first thin thread was at conception. Okay? So being here right now is not on purpose. It's not by happenstance. Like it's like you're intended. We all are here for a reason. So we each get 86,400 seconds a day. What are you doing with yours? How are you investing it or how are you spending it? If you were to put a dollar value on every second for you, what would that dollar value be? For me, it's $1,325 a second. You might be like, damn, how you know that? I have an affirmation, and part of my affirmation that I say is I'm a multi-trillionaire running a multi-quadrillion dollar company. So one day I was bored a long time ago and was like, I wonder how much $1 trillion adds up to per second. $1,325 a second. And because my time is no more valuable than yours, this time together that we have is a $4.7 million investment into your leadership cup. Thank you, Mass. All right. And then truth number 3, life is hard. I don't need to dig into that. But every morning, knowing that, every morning when you open your eyes, the challenge is which hard road will you travel? The hard road of mediocrity that leads to regrets, or the hard road of excellence, which leads to victory and legacy. Now, and then really at the end of the day, which road are you choosing? Every day in every way, how are you stretching and moving yourself to where you could be moving in a space where at the end of your life, you're looking at a life full of victories versus a life full of regrets. Now, a book that has shaped my own leadership journey is The Leader Who Had No Title by Robin Sharma. In chapter 3, mentor takes it, and that's what this picture is capturing. The mentor takes his mentee to a graveyard at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is crazy. But he goes out there and the mentor lays out 2 lists and 2 separate graves. On one grave containing 10 human regrets. On the other grave is the 10 human victories. Google it. You can get the full list when you Google it. But the regrets boil down to 3 truths. 1, the pain of unrealized potential. 2, the sorrow of living someone else's script. And 3, the heartbreak of leaving without making an impact. That sucks. The victories. So the victories. The victories point us on another path. Using yourself up fully. Living with fearless resilience. Leaving a legacy of love and service. I don't know about you, but that's a highway to heaven that I'll be happy to drive 100 miles an hour to get to that space. But the reality is the choice is ours every single day. So do you want to live a life of unrealized potential, or do you want to live a life where you have used yourself up fully in service of a greater good? So what we're going to do, so this is part of, oh, dang, there it is. I forgot to skip. So there you go. Those are the summaries of those. So this is what we're going to do. So again, so that you're not hearing me talk, because if I was out there hearing me talk for a full hour, I would be going to sleep. I'm a part-time narcoleptic. It's real. So what we'll do is break down into parent shares. So find a partner. And then, so first, before you find a partner, do some individual reflection. So 2 minutes. What victory are you already working towards? What victory are you already working towards? Take 120 seconds to reflect, and I'll give you a signal, and then find a partner, and then share with your partner what that victory is. So take some time. Really, I could give you 8 seconds because it takes the human brain 8 seconds to come up with your most perfect answer, but it's early. Some of us haven't got our coffee. Our coffee hasn't activated yet. So I'll give you 110 seconds now to think about what that victory is, and then we'll find a partner and you can share with your partner, okay? Think to yourself. And if you already thought, find your partner and you can talk. Oh, how's the video? Okay. Let's see how it goes. Come up.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's like the Tigers. If you've been to a Tigers game and the wave hits, it's just like a wave starts to hit you, start just this quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. So the main thing with the hand, just taking my stuff out for a little bit, presenter privilege, you just have to be patient. Because your internal point will be like, all right, let's go. No, be patient. And then the more that you work that process, the more it becomes ingrained, the more it becomes natural, the more it just becomes of how you call attention into your program or at a meeting or whatever it might be. Elena Lazo, she's awesome. All right, I'm going to attempt to do something because I got a video. So Sagrada La Familia, 144 years, commitment, vision, and continuous improvement. So there is a video, but I'm going to do, okay. Can I back out of both? Okay, good. All right, I'm going to do this because I want you to see the video because the video is awesome. So give me 2 seconds and I can pull this up and pray that the video shows. Does it pop up? Oh, it doesn't pop up. Or does it pop up? No, it doesn't pop up. Okay, don't worry about it. So what the video is, in a sense, is I was blessed to be able to go on a trip to on a German Marshall Fund tour sponsored by the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation. And so we went to Germany and we went to Barcelona. To see how other countries handle their youth development systems. And in short, what we found is that when countries own it, good things happen for young people. So in Germany, they create a 10-year plan for like everything. It sounds just very German. So a 10-year plan for everything. But for young people, they have a 10-year plan that all the resources, all the partnerships go into how are we going to achieve this 10-year plan for young people. Barcelona had a similar, it wasn't as, German, but it had a similar model. But so one morning, I had no idea about this church. I had no idea about where the hell it was at regardless. So I'm just walking. So me and a few of the colleagues that I was with, we're walking in the morning. They're like, Terry, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, bet. So we're walking the streets of Barcelona. My eyesight is right here. Like, oh my God, look at this, centuries of history, yada, yada, yada. And I turn a corner and I see that. This big, just gaudy structure that I'm like, what is that? And so what the video shows is me just walking around it and just to scale how big, how grand, and how gaudy this thing is. which makes sense because, we talked about work began in 1882, designed by Catalan architect Antoni Gaudi. Again, Gaudi just makes sense. Due to be complete next year. And the thing that is awesome that I think we can all connect with as it relates to the potholes, the roadblocks, the challenges that come with doing big things. So with this, the Gaudi died in 1926. Yeah, 1926. So the first portion of this thing hadn't even been created yet. They had material issues because the materials for the first part was not plentiful. So then you had to go and find other spaces and places to get the materials. That was a challenge. In 1936 was the Spanish Civil War, and where the anarchists broke into the church and burnt down the plans, the models, everything. So imagine us doing our work and we moving, and then all of a sudden, Aaron leaves and takes all the plans. Like, we don't have no understanding of anything in terms of how we're supposed to continue to do this work. And they still found a way. So how do we continue to find a way even in the midst of the house burning down, which it feels like from time to time? So here's another prompt for you to engage. What is your faith in the future? Particularly and you can quantify future however you want to qualify it. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 20 years. Actually, I'll qualify it for you. If you think about, so my son is 3, if you think about 50 years from now, what is your faith in the future of our field, I'll even go a little bit further, of our country, of our world? What is your faith? Where is your faith at? How do you feel things will be in 50 years? That things will be better, worse, whatever it might be, okay? So let's take not 2 minutes, let's take 1 minute. Just think to yourself. And then we're gonna go 2 minutes to find another partner, preferably somebody that you might not know. If it could be at your table, that's great. If not, let's just keep it to our table. But find another partner, and then let's take 2 minutes to pair and share. So I've already taken up 30 seconds of your individual time. We'll give 30 more seconds, and then we'll go into shares once you feel like you can have a conversation. Faith in the future. Faith in the future. No, so when I went to do this, it didn't change the screen. So that was the thing.
Do you have speaker notes on?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm just going to duplicate the displays.
Go ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's the last one, so.
Yeah, want it. That's going to make it so that
is
everybody
awesome.
can see everything that's on your computer screen.
Okay.
So what you see is what they see.
Awesome.
That works?
That'd be great. And so once I get out of here, I can just close out, bring the other one back up, and they'll see it. Yep. Awesome.
Do you know how to get back to it?
Yep.
Like there's a lock
right there. Yep, I got it.
All right, perfect.
So right now, I can just hit play, and it'll play.
We can certainly test it out.
Yeah, let's see.
And then just... Oh, let me actually...
There we go. All right, bet. You are the sugar honey iced tea, my friend. Thank you.
Hey, good luck. You're doing great.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Camden Table. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, Shana. Thanks in the back. Yay. 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 See, that works. It works. Okay. I just want to thank Matt because he's the technical genius that's helping us do this right now. So here's the actual video. So again, imagine you're walking down a street and you turn left and this is what you see. Let me blow it up and then do this. And it really does, because there's little baubles in the back that's like different colors, like peach and yellow, and that was the first part. So there's 4 main entrances. There's going to be 3 main entrances to this church. That's the first main entrance. That's the second main entrance, and then there's another entrance on the other side. So that's why it looks different, because each part was built with different materials, because 144 years, like you might not have the same materials that you had at the beginning that you have at that time. So awesome. Current slide. Bet. You jumping up? Yay! Technology. Okay. All right. So we got that, and we did that. So I am in no way, shape, or form an architect. I can't even tell you at what scale this concept is in like physics or architecture, but it does play a very good role in terms of a backdrop as it relates to the analogy that I'll make. So the thing that got me, 144 years, all this Gothic architecture where you've got like these columns and then these U's that are holding and connecting the columns together, like how the hell does that happen? And so there's these 2 terms, tension and compression, okay? So compression is the force of gravity pushing down and then the energy coming back up from the ground. It's like keeps things sturdy, okay? And then those bars across, there's gravity working in a space of that has tension, where you've got part of it pulling down, but then another part of the other opposite effect is of like gravity like pulling it up. It's a thing. So the technical part, don't worry about it. Just know that compression is bringing you down, tension is stretching you, okay? So, opposite. So when we think about it, okay, leadership is the same. Compression is your foundation. The values, your habits, your discipline, those things that anchor you when the storms come, okay? Tension is your growth. It's new responsibilities, innovation, risk, the demands of a community that needs more from us now than ever, those things that just stretch us as leaders. Now, again, stress is a good thing because that helps us to get stronger. Now, when stress becomes traumatic, that's when it has a negative effect. So that's where you just got to be careful. As a former football player, yeah, I could do 275, 280, but if I were to throw 400 on a bench press, but if I were to throw 400, I probably would cave in my chest. That would be traumatic. 285, that's stressful. And so, sorry. But here's the danger. If you live only in compression, where you're just living in your values, your habits, your discipline, your will, like you're just there, you become rigid. If you only live in tension, where it's just all about growth and innovation and risk and possibility, like living outside of this, kind of somewhat outside of the reality of the situation, you get pulled apart. You get pulled away from your responsibilities that are here on the ground. You get pulled apart, pulled away from who you are as an individual, and then you're just out here, just willy-nilly, all over the place. But but when you balance them, if you can stay grounded while stretching upward, that's how you build something enduring. Oh, we need to do that. We're going to keep going. All right, so 3 levels of impact, okay? When I first got to the Skillman Foundation, so first and foremost, I had no qualms or wanting to work in philanthropy. Actually, every day that as a nonprofit youth development worker, every time I would go to the Skillman Foundation, I would walk up and I would look at it like Central City from Hunger Games. Like that's where they had all the answers, that's where they had all the money, and they were just tossing crumbs out to us in the districts and making us fight for it. And then I got in there, and it's so far from the case, because they don't have all the answers. They do rely on us on the field to help them make decisions. At least the good ones do. And so when I got there, David McGee was my program officer on the outside when I came in. He was one of the leaders of the organization. And he's like, Terry, you are like awesome at the programmatic space. But in philanthropy, you need to be able to think at 3 levels. Impact on young people, impact on the organizations, impact on systems. And that was within like the first month of me being there. And that just changed how I viewed the work that I did, because I couldn't just think about the young people. I had to think about the organizations, and then I had to think about the system. So if you think about this, there's 3 levels of impact. And I'll use this as the backdrop to the realness of what we're experiencing in our world today. Political division, economic anxiety, cultural tension, social disorientation. Sometimes it feels like the ground is shifting up under our feet. It's just not comfortable. And there's actually a phenomenon named for this feeling. I found out about it earlier this year in January. It's called hypernormalization. Has anybody heard that term before? Some of us, yep. Okay, cool. So for those that haven't, hypernormalization is when broken systems pretend to work while we all play along. Like everything is fine. And by the nods and the amens and the preaches, I think everybody can agree with that. It's like everyone knowing that and when I say this, I'm using it like for the system. So the emperor is the system, but everyone knowing that the emperor has no clothes on, but we just continue to do what we do. This is why your role matters. What others accept as fake normal, leaders like you have to stand up and we have to say we can do better. So let me ask you, what is your faith in the future? What do you believe in others? Your answers to those questions will shape how you lead others and how you lead this field through this timeline that we found ourselves in. So Stephen Covey provides us with a framework that, again, I took the framework, rejigger it to what we're talking about today. And it's about the 3 spheres of impact. When you think about control, influence, and then aspiration. So control, the foundation, is yourself. What you own, what you have control over, which makes sense because it's control. Your growth, your habits, your professional and personal development. So you think about that's the compression. Control is all about how are you grounding yourself, making yourself better. Influence. That's the influence that you exert on like your staff or your boards, funders, partners, at all levels of partners. That's the tension. That's you stretching, because with each interaction, with each bout of influence, you have to stretch who you were in order to meet the moment of what is needed and as you are attempting to grow and influence others up, down, and around. And then aspiration, that's the cathedral. That's the vision that you may never see finished, which is screwed up. But we still have to lay bricks, because it doesn't matter if we see the results or not. As a youth work professional, the thing that gives me joy right now is that young people that I worked with 10 or 15 years ago, bumping into them. I used to be a runner. I can say that now because my knees are telling me that I used to be a runner. And so I'm running, and a cop car passes by me, so there's a moment of, oh shit. And then I look in the passenger seat, and it is a young man that I did summer youth employment with, and then he joined the work that we were doing more directly. So part of a partnership for youth. It was a part of a citywide collaborative youth development alliance with my buddy Kim Johnson. And so doing great work in the city. And so to see him as a cop, hear him talk about his kids, his wife, all the things, him going for his real estate license. I know I'm not so big-headed, even though I have a big head, that the time with me and the work that we did was a small part of his growth. There are some young people that we work with that they're going to be good regardless. But there are some young people that because of us, there's a bit of a shift that they experience that helps them to then make different decisions. And that young man, I think, made better decisions by being a part of the work that we did. So, control, influence, and aspiration. I believe this: the more you invest in what you can control, yourself, your habits, your discipline, your growth then exponentially grows your influence. How can you influence up if you don't see yourself in that type of light? How do you influence to the side if you doubt your ability to even move yourself, let alone move other people? And so the stronger yourself is, the stronger your influence is, then the stronger your alignment with your aspirations become. So it just all becomes in alignment. Okay? Yeah, we can do this one. Okay, so what we'll do is think about your role as a leader. What is your role in creating change? And then when you think about after school as a field, what is our role in creating change? I'll take another quick second, speaker privilege. I personally believe that out of school time has untapped potential as it relates to power building. And the work that I do, in particular with the Black Executive Directors Alliance of Detroit, better known as BDAD, my push is how can we in Detroit increase our influence within a civic space? Because if you think about 2016, Michigan was lost by 16,000 votes. In 2024, Michigan was lost by 80-some thousand votes. In Detroit alone, the voter, for registered voters in 2024, only 21% actually went out and voted. Like, goddamn. And if you take that, I'm sure that mirrors a lot of the communities that we serve, the actual civic engagement of communities of young people, of families that we work with. So what if that became part of how we engage young people, engage families, is in the education of civics? Because they're not getting it in school, so where are they going to get it from? So when you think about the inherent power that exists within this room, how we could change the dynamics of this state and of this country is very exciting to me. So to me, that would be like an example of what is our role of changing trajectory within the out of school time space. So 30 seconds, think about it. What is your role in creating change? What is out of school time's role in creating change? And then find a partner, share for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back and wrap up. Go. Yolanda yelling like, ah! That was intentional too. I know that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm sorry. Again, it just works. Yolanda Scarborough with Camp Dinner Table right here. She just was like. That was hilarious. Okay. All right. So we're wrapping up. So now what? What the hell do we go from here? So when you think about it, compression. your foundation. Tension, stretching. What are you reading? Who are you engaging? How are you inherently and intentionally becoming a stronger, better, faster individual? Actually, not better. There's a quote that says, and I'm going to loosely call it, many times we don't have to be instructed, you just got to be reminded. Okay? We are all perfectly made individuals. And many times we go into years like New Year's resolutions, like new me, who you, whatever that might be. No. The reality is we just have to remind ourselves of who we are, where we are going, what our mission is, what our why is. It's not about instructing or changing, it's just about reminding ourselves that we have all that we need. So, and then together, how are we building a cathedral of leadership, unfinished yet enduring? So I'll leave you 3 bricks for you to take with you and then plant on the Michigan out of school time cathedral that we're all contributing to. Like that, let's put it together. Okay, so the 3 bricks. 1, have a mirror conversation. There's a gentleman that I watch, David Goggins. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but the books and everything, he is awesome. And so one thing that he said as a part of his journey to change, to remembering who he was having an in the mirror conversation. By the in the mirror conversation, like an honest conversation with yourself about who are you in this moment through your actions, through your habits. Are your habits leading you towards regrets or victories? Who's following you? Who are you following? And then always remember, a leader with no one following them is just out for a long walk. Just saying. I like to walk in the morning, but if I'm just walking just to be walking, I need somebody behind me. All right, number 2, understand your role. I meant to take that question off. It's not a question mark. Understand your role. Bruce Lee said, be water. Okay? Just as water takes the shape of its container and can flow around or over obstacles, one should be formless. One should be shapeless. One should be capable of adjusting to any situation without resistance. This means letting go of rigid, preconceived notions or fixed forms to achieve a state of natural, effortless movement and resilience. If you're the only one saying, no, this is the only way that's got to happen, this is the way it's got to be, this is the way it's got to be, yeah, you're not water, you're concrete. You're not moving with you're not being adaptive in the moment. You are impeding progress. So it's always good to, again, understand what you stand for, but you cannot be so rigid that you get in the way, because we do not need more people in the way. So what can you learn today that prepares you for tomorrow? And then lastly, number 3, lay another brick. Like those generations building Sagrada Familia, we might not see the finished product. This goal of after school for all might not be in our lifetime. And what I'm coming to, it will, I'm just saying, yes, woo! Okay, Aaron. Let me think of something else. Our broader, grander vision that the After School for Everyone is contributing to. There you go. Because After School for Everybody is a contributing factor to a better outcome, better reality, better situations for our young people and for our families. Like After School for All, in and of itself, but when it's added to where we're going, that's the thing. So, Aaron, that thing, we might not see the finish line, okay? But what? Do we stop? No, we have to keep moving. We have to make sure that our contribution every day is ensuring that that gaudy structure 144 years later will be able to be enjoyed by thousands and thousands, millions of people who probably won't know our name. And that reality is on one side sucks, because we're humans, we have egos, we want to be known. But the reality is the work that we're putting in is so much more important than who we are as individuals. And as a former offensive lineman, I am okay with not being recognized, because for me, it was about the team and the quarterback and the running back and them getting all the glory and me just having broke limbs and, you know, all that good stuff. Boom. So, bam. So what would it take for you to be fearless? This is what we're going to do. This is the final charge. Defeat is a choice that the brave never choose. Defeat is, if you think about any movie where there's a protagonist and they've got to get something done. Time after time, they are shown an opportunity to quit. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm going to tap out. Like, what if some of our greatest leaders just say, you know what? My house got firebombed. I'm straight. I found out about and I didn't know about this, about the coal miners in West Virginia and a war that they fought. I'm still like ignorant of the whole thing, but I heard a little bit about it. What if those coal miners was like, I'm straight, we'll just work 90 hours a week. We don't need fair living wages. We don't need a safe environment to work. What if they just say, I'm good.
Continue on Schoolcraft Road for
We
1
don't have
mile.
that luxury, particularly today. We don't have that luxury. So, in your brain, write one fearless act you commit to taking in the next 30 days. Actually, I'm saying write it down. So write it down. Written word, spoken word, two powerful things. So in a moment, write it down. One fearless act you commit to taking in the next 30 days. And so if you've written it down, great. If not, just hold it up just like it's there. So just hold it up. That's your next break. Everyone, the work we're building may take generations to finish, but together, grounded in compression, stressed by tension, driven by aspiration, we will leave behind something worthy of the children, youth, and communities that we serve. We will leave an enduring legacy that will be marveled at for centuries to come. Now, how you like them apples? Like, that's something that gets me excited. So to close our time together, I got 2 things that I need to do, okay? 1 that I had planned, 2 that I didn't plan, but I'm accommodating a friend and it'll be cool to do it. So to close our time together, I invite you all to stand and engage in a bit of mental preparation for the rest of the day. Because again, this is just to set the stage for the rest of the day. So everybody stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Okay, so I get this book. So this comes from, this quote comes from the 5 a.m. Club. It's another Sharma book. If you don't know about the 5 a.m. Club, I would get it. It's all about taking control of the first hour of your day, which should be 5 o'clock. 20 minutes of physical exertion. Right, I'm telling you, like, I've got a 3-year-old, and so that 3-year-old and a wife, like, they demand that I have to get up at 4 if I want to have any quiet time to myself. But it's all about discipline. And so they talk about 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of prayer, meditation, just grounding, and then 20 minutes of some type of self-building, reading a book, listening to a video, something that builds you up. And so 5 a.m. Club, this is where this comes from. So what we're going to do, because I don't need the microphone right now, because I have a very loud voice. No, we're good. I did that on purpose. Okay. I'm going to read this once so you can get the cadence. And then I need you to say it, and then say it, and then we're going to say it one more time. Okay? So, today is a glorious day, and I will live it at excellence, filled with boundless enthusiasm and limitless integrity, true to my vision with a heart full of love. So that's the okay? So let's say it together. Today is a glorious day, and I will live it at excellence, filled with boundless enthusiasm and limitless integrity, true to my vision with a heart full of love. One more time, a little bit more effort. Today is a glorious day, and I will live it at excellence, filled with boundless enthusiasm and limitless integrity, true to my vision, with a heart full of love. Now, I want us to get this close to getting kicked out of this place with how loud we get. Okay, Ashley, I'm sorry, but just be prepared, okay? All right, so ready? Today is a glorious day, and I will live it in excellence, filled with boundless enthusiasm and limitless integrity, true to my vision, with a heart full of love. Yes! Now, stay standing. Yes! All right. Now, how many of us have seen the movie 300? All right. Now, for those that haven't seen it, short story, 300 Spartans come together to fight off a horde of invaders from Persia, okay? And it was unsurmountable odds. They knew they weren't going to win, okay? So on the way to the hot gates, they come across another warring party, And so the two king, Leonidas and the other king, are having a conversation. So the other king sees Leonidas, sees the group, and his people are like, damn, they only brought 300 people. We got like 12,000 people. And so in that moment, Leonidas is like, oh, you want to talk? Okay, what's your profession? And one of them says, I'm a potter. What's your profession? Oh, I'm a blacksmith. What's your profession? Oh, I'm a horticulturalist. That's not what he said, but you get the point. So he's talking about all the different jobs. And you just see a smile coming over Leonidas' face, and you see the other king's face start to drop. Because Leonidas turns to his group and he says, Spartans, what is your profession? Who? So, what I would like to do is to reenact that. Now, because I know that we have some Wolverines in the space and I don't want them to have to leave, I'm going to change it up a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to say, out of school time professionals, what is your profession? And then, who? And then drop it, okay? So I'm going to use my loud voice. I need your loud voice. And then we're done, okay? Out of school time professionals, what is your profession? Who? Let's go. Make it a great day. All right. We're good? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah? That was good? Excellent. You're welcome.
Thank you, Jerry, so much.
Thank you.
You are always a phenomenal speaker, and we are so grateful for you. Another round of applause for Jerry.
I am healthy in all my ways, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. I am a man of confidence. I am confident in my ability to succeed.